5 of the Orange Pill Investor, and today I'm just gonna make this quick, but I want to talk about OODA loops for a second. And it stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. And you should probably use it in all areas of life. Options is a good one, but also any of our Bitcoin decisions as well. Probably a good part of a don't trust, verify philosophy. So, especially in an emergency situation, you should, observe what's going on around you, orient yourself to the battlefield, I suppose, make a decision, and then act. And as soon as you take that first action, then you can just go right back into the OODA loop and just observe again and keep doing that until the crisis or situation is over. And we'll probably have to keep doing that for the op return debate. If NOTS becomes enough of a threat that core pulls their head out of their asses, then the battlefield has changed, and maybe then it does make more sense to continue running core. Or if for some reason NOTS disqualifies themselves as good actors in the space, in the way that core has recently, maybe then you change your decision. Or maybe we get a third party, and maybe there'll be an even better choice down the road. Same thing with cold storage devices. Matthew Crowder used to recommend certain cold storage, and then Ledger started having some problems. I think maybe he never recommended them because I don't think they were ever open source. Trezor took themselves out because of something. Can't remember if they got hacked or maybe they support shitcoins or something. Anyway, recently he decided to stop recommending Blockstream because of Adam Back's position on core and really not opposing spam. So we've got to constantly be vigilant, and unfortunately that's just how it is. Yeah, what's up, Will? OODA loops, baby. There's a lot of inefficiencies in the military and the government in general, but every once in a while they get shit right, especially when it will help keep you alive. So that's kind of the process that I'm doing every time I'm looking at security login with two-factor authentication. I'm pretty sure I have it already, so I don't know why it's asking me that. But now it's making me paranoid. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing, and I overcheck this account to a certain extent. But then again, whatever you pay attention to the most in life is what gets fed, right? So it can grow. If you stop paying attention to things, then they tend to wither and die. So especially if you're new at this, probably looking at a little too much might make sense. And so every time I'm going in here, I'm just kind of comparing, okay, I sold it for 9. The roll range would either be approximately, maybe when there's 21 days to expiration left, because going too far under 21 days, according to Tasty Trade, exposes you to extra gamma risk. And so the Greeks start to get a little wonky when you get closer to 0 DTE. So for this one, still got 30 days to expiration left on it. Best case scenario, I would be able to roll this every 2 weeks and, buy it back for half and roll it out for the same amount. However, it generally takes somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks to get to that point. So maybe, if strategy is still trading at 325 next week, maybe then it'll be time to roll this bad boy. Same thing here. Probably need this to be under 375-ish. Now here's something to add some insult to injury. So strategy's up 116% over the last year. Let's just look up. I think I just took off my CLSK position. That's only up 50%. So actually it's not as bad as I thought. But if you want to filter and piss yourself off, you can just go like year to date and get out. Investing in strategy since January 1st will get you outperformed by miners. That's a hard pill to swallow. Yeah, they're all running right now. Somebody was saying sometimes the miners running can be like well, I almost said canary in the coal mines, but like the good version of the canary in the coal mines, meaning maybe Bitcoin itself is going to rip from here. That would be cool. I would not argue with that. Yeah. So anyway, the observe in OODA means not ready to roll. You could probably include like, okay, what's the macro environment look like? You could just go to the S&P 500 and be like, okay, is everyone up today? Because if the whole market is up or down, it's not shocking that whatever your position is still getting dragged up or down with it. It'd be nice if Bitcoin separates itself from the entire market at some point. But for now, it's still kind of a dependent variable. Same, not ready to roll, not ready to roll. Oh, maybe I better take a look at Tesla real quick. My Tesla short call getting wrecked, so that's good news. But still plenty of time left on it, so I will sit and do nothing. And I just got interviewed on Treasury Orange YouTube channel, Tyler Rowe on X, and we had a good conversation. So I think that'll probably come out Friday-ish, maybe next week, this week or next week. And I mentioned OODA loops on that channel, so it just got me thinking about them. Same, not ready to roll. Looks like I'll just be doing a speed run today. I did roll the 360s down to the 350s. And now, you know what, I'm going to reshare without desktop volume or desktop audio, just so that nobody has to listen to my trade bells. So let's close this. There's only half a trading week left and precious little premium to collect. So I'm going to take these off now. Shit, that's even loud for me. Good Lord. Somebody let me know if they heard that ding. I didn't share desktop audio, so it shouldn't come through. So 2 more trading days to collect $80 a pop. Let's see what happens if I try to roll this down. If I roll this down again to the expected move, maybe I'll just do... No, I'm going to have to do it separately. And makes me a little bit annoyed that I could have rolled the other ones down with it the other day. So I kind of screwed myself out of a couple of bucks. So the market loves to screw with me. But let me just put one back on. And if the market decides to reverse, maybe I'll put the other one back on. Not ready to roll. All right, might actually have something to do with this account. A good bit of premium still in the Wolf put that I sold Friday or Monday, can't remember. The AST put that I sold could end up getting assigned. Got paid 35, so my cost basis will be 265 if I get assigned. So nothing to do but just sit and wait on that one. The IBIT call, still not worth. I'd be looking to roll this when it's like 55 or below. Maybe this one, the 385 call I sold. That's been on for 2 weeks, but I'd be looking to roll it when it's like 380. So I'll hang on to that one for a little bit longer. CLSK and Wolf puts sold out to October 31st. Nothing to do there. This is the leftover Strive put. I opened a synthetic and I covered call against it and closed all of those positions, but there was a ton of premium left still in the cash secured put, so I kept this one. Generally don't like to sell them out beyond 60 days max. So having these on for still another 90 days is a little bit of a pain in the ass. It's going to take quite a while for that theta to decay. But it's so expensive to close this. I feel like I'm just kind of handcuffed into it at this point. This is the interesting one. So this is the one that I copy traded with some friends of mine. And if I had been paying attention at 1025, I could have actually sold it for the tiniest profit, which is hilarious because it has been a loser since the day we opened it. December 11th, Bitcoin was still kind of coming down off all-time highs. So where are we? What did I say? 8 bought 1211. Right here. So there was like if I had sold it the next day, I could have made some profit. But after that, there's no point in this entire option. And this was a leap, so there was plenty of time to be right here. So there's no guarantee that even going out a year in advance is enough time to be right. You still got to get the direction right. But the miners are showing a little bit of life here. So could have taken a tiny little profit this morning, but I think we're probably just going to hold on to this. Like win or lose, we may end up just letting this one expire. Now, the message that I sent to them earlier is that, and let me just pull it up. So if I was making this trade today, January, like if I wanted to buy the 22, I could turn this into a calendar spread, which is what a poor man's covered call is. This one, I don't know if it would technically qualify as a poor man's covered call because the long call is only 3 months away. But it would be relatively safe to turn this into a calendar spread, maybe selling the 24 or the 25. You can see that the slope is not like going down a cliff or anything. So this is a nice gradual graph. So that it would, like, by the time you could actually lose money on this trade, like even if Riot went to $50 a share, Your upside would be capped at 25, but you wouldn't be able to lose money on this trade until Riot got to, I don't know, something stupid, 300, 500 a share or something, if that happened. But this was something that I sent to them and said, our original options are roll or take profits with 90 days left, which is what I usually do, or just exit the trade, win or lose, or hold until expiration and just YOLO. But with this pump, it makes it kind of tempting to maybe sell the 24, and that would cap the upside if Riot does run. But being able to put like $10 a week guaranteed in our pockets over the next January is 114 days. So what? 3.5 months. 12 weeks, $120. That would lower our cost basis to the point where even if Riot just pumps a little bit, we would we'd be able to book some profits. So that is another option now. So I'll chat with them and see how they want to play it. And everything else is just needs to chill. And I've got $300 worth of buying power. I mean, I could dollar cost average into these a little bit more. Or not. All right, they want me to pay a little extra. Let's go 0.68. There we go. It's not going to drag my average down too much. But this is basically making a directional bet that will be above 500 by January. Instead of YOLOing into 1080s, 910s, all of that good shit. All right. I think today's going to be a nice little quickie. That'll give me time to try to hit the gym. Got a late start, did some shopping, and of course I had to record the podcast, and then sneak in here and make a few trades before the bell closes, or before the bell